Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in to my SoundPaint podcast. Happy Saturday. SoundPaint was a concept I created about 10 years ago with the drive to be rooted in a safe community for musicians seeking music education from an angle of just wanting to explore and enjoy sound and grow together. I also feel very strongly that there is a connection between art and music. I really love specifically the connection between sound waves and light waves. Light waves, when basically broken down, are the colors that we see. And this is why I call this SoundPaint. I just really love the idea of approaching writing music with color in mind. And that is a huge source of my inspiration when I play. For those of you listening in that can't see what I'm doing, I'm working today in Ableton Live 11 as usual with my Arturia Keylab 88 that I'm using as my MIDI controller. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically a keyboard that I use as my instrument to create the computer data that Ableton will read and change that into the sounds that we'll choose together. We touched on that a little bit last week, but MIDI is basically that. Musical Instrument Digital Interface, MIDI, that's what it stands for. It's a basic way that we send digitally encoded information about music between the keyboard and my computer. As we go, I'll be describing what I'm doing as much as possible for everyone listening without the video. If you are interested in seeing what I'm doing in Ableton, you can find my video podcast on YouTube by clicking the link included below in the info section of this podcast. So, in addition to my keyboard being filtered through the music DAW, Ableton, I also want to introduce you to my analog best friend. And I've never really actually subscribed to naming my instrument or assigning them a name. I just like to kind of refer to her as something I just can't do without. That way she is free to transcend into whatever I want her to be. Some days she's a little jazzy. Other days she's from Brazil and only speaks bossa nova. Other days she just wants to be hip hop. And other days she's pure rock. This introduction is getting a little out of hand with no more to say and a really big buildup. I may just have oversold. This is my electric bass guitar. I actually have many electric basses, but this particular one, this is my axe. That's what musicians refer to their instruments as. I don't actually know why, but this is my axe, my workhorse. She got me through endless 6-hour sessions of practices and rehearsals, lugging her in all different types of New Jersey weather conditions to get to my classes on my campus. And she was the first bass I ever recorded with. Okay, so what are we doing today? You might be asking. Well, I'm going to pick a drum line and loop it and see what we come up with. And then what I'm going to do after that is we are going to play the bass over it. So we're experimenting here, so keep that in mind. All right, I have a few, for those of you that can't see, I have a few drum loops that I have saved. I'm just going to kind of go through them a bit. That's cool. It's kind of straightforward. I like that. All right, let's try this one. I like this one, but I think it's a little bit more airy than what I want to do. It's cool, but we'll move on. See what else there is. No, I'm not feeling that right now. Now, these are all actually drum loops that I have picked in the past, and I know I like them, but I'm just not feeling them in the moment. Whoa. That's really cool, but I don't know. I want more of a rhythm. That's cool. else we have. I like that, but I don't know if I'm feeling it for today. Ooh, that's cool. A little heavy. I don't know. I'm torn between this one and actually the first one. All right, I'm going to try this one for now. So I'm going to drag this over to the track where I have set up as, is it going to take it? There we go. Yes. And you can see all, well, for those of you who can't see, I have all of this data in here. If I click on it, going back to what we were talking about with MIDI, well, actually, let me extend it first. All right. I just have to click this and drag it, and I can extend it as far as I want. But right now I'm holding my bass with my other hand, so I'm doing this one-handed. So bear with me. Okay, there we go. Now it's slowly trucking along. So what I'm doing, for those of you that can't see what I'm doing, I am clicking and dragging this drum loop that I selected, and I put it in my track. And I'm just stretching it out over a good amount of time because I don't know how long I'm going to make stuff up. And I want to make sure that I have plenty to work with. So I think that's good for now. So right now I have 192 measures of a MIDI track drum loop that I have stretched out over that much space. So for those of you watching, see all these like dots and dashes? I'm going to click on it. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. So this is all, we were talking about MIDI before. This is what MIDI looks like when you're just looking at the raw data. And it has a sound effect assigned to each one of these pieces of raw data. And all together, it sounds like, here, let me go back. Now from here, I can actually speed it up or slow it down, but I kind of like this tempo. That means like how fast it's going. And one thing that might not work, we'll see, is there already is a bass kind of in there. So we'll see if that works. And I want to color it. What color am I feeling? I'm kind of feeling, I'm feeling this kind of like teal. No, it's not really teal. I don't know what I'm feeling. I haven't been with it long enough to know what I'm feeling. Okay, I'm gonna go with this color. There we go. And I don't know, the track itself is like a lime green, so I'm feeling that. That's okay. That's cool. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I have my bass track right here, and I am going to set it up so that is armed to record. So that's what this red button is right here. For those of you that can't see, there's a red button. That means when I play something, it is armed to record it. And I also have this handy dandy tuner attached to this track where I'm feeding in my bass. My beautiful 4-string beauty. I have a couple 5 strings, but I haven't brought her out in a while, so I thought she deserved the recognition. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. Okay, so cool. So I'm going to hit record, and it's going to, you should also still be able to hear the drum. Fingers crossed. Sometimes the way I route my audio gets all crossed and the wires are mixed up and such. So I'm just going to start making stuff up. Now I don't need a metronome right now because the drum is acting as a metronome. And I think I'm gonna play. Well, first of all, let me hear if any notes are gonna clash with that bass sound that you hear. That wow, that it is. Okay. So I'm gonna stop it for just a second so I can talk. All right. So that was just a little test run. So I figured out that it's in a flat key. So it's an A flat there. It's a B flat. I don't know where I'm gonna go from here. They're lying because right there it says C sharp, but technically it's a B flat because we're in a flat key. No, I don't know. That's not. I'm trying to figure out where else we can go. Okay, so it's in A flat, I believe. All right, cool. Let's get back to it. Just listen for a second to get the groove. Now I just paused for just a second. I was feeling what I was making up, but I realized the bass was doing something weird in the recording. And I just want to make sure it's still moving on. Okay, we're good. All right, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. That's cool. You know what? I have moments where I'm like, ugh, that was terrible. Just being honest. All part of the process. I'm going to stop there. I liked what I was doing. I wasn't thrilled with it, but that's okay. I was making stuff up and I was having fun. And I have to recognize that not everybody loves just listening to a drum beat and a bass line as much as I do. I think that's where we'll end it for today. I'm kind of feeling like maybe I want to add to this for next week. No promises, but I was kind of getting into a groove there, and I would like to see where it goes next week, but you'll just have to tune in next week to find out if I do. As always, I would love to hear any feedback, any ideas you guys might have of what you'd like to hear me do or try or demonstrate. I'm not really too proud to try something that I might be terrible at because, let's be honest, we're all trying, we're all learning, and we're not all perfect all the time. So I think that there's a huge amount of freedom in that knowledge and really owning that. And, we're all just human. Anyways, that was a tangent. So thank you so much for listening. As always, if you liked what you heard today or want to hear where we go next week, I would love it if you followed me. I post these videos every Saturday, so you know where to find me. Thanks again and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.